Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this panel discussion. Our topic for today is harnessing the power of AI in cloud infrastructure for business agility. I am your host, and my name is Ashish Maur. It is indeed an honor and privilege for me to be the moderator for today's session. I have over 3 decades of cross-industry experience, with the last 15 plus years as CIO and CTO for a few different organizations. So you can well imagine this topic is very close to my heart. With me this afternoon, I have a panel of very experienced group of senior IT leaders from diverse organizational backgrounds. In today's fast-paced digital landscape, organizations are constantly seeking ways to stay ahead of competition. We all know that cloud infrastructure has revolutionized the way businesses operate, providing scalability, flexibility, and cost effectiveness. However, with the exponential growth of data, manual processes are no longer sufficient. We also know that this is where artificial intelligence or AI comes into play. AI has the potential to transform cloud infrastructure, enabling businesses to make faster, data-driven decisions, automate routine tasks, and predict future challenges. Our discussion today will focus on the intersection of these two technology pillars, AI and cloud infrastructure, exploring how organizations can leverage AI-driven automation to achieve business agility. We'll delve into the strategies, benefits, and challenges of integrating AI into cloud environments and how this convergence can drive operational efficiency, innovation, and growth. Let me now quickly invite each panelist to briefly introduce themselves and their organization. Mr. Kaushal Kumar from ACME Group.
Hi everyone, my name is Kaushal Kumar, currently working as Assistant Vice President and Head of IT at ACME Group. We are a green energy company. Around 18 years of experience, last 8 years working as a CIO, CTO role, and work with companies like Raymond, IBM, Deloitte, couple of startups also, and some listing part also, like first Green Invit of India Infrastructure Investment Trust, which is this various infrastructure. Yeah, pleasure talking to you all. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Sonam Malik from Interarch Building Products Private Limited.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I must thank CXO Media for inviting me in this session, and I'm feeling extremely privileged to be part of this forum. And so far myself is concerned, I am 29 years of experience. I am having 29 years of experience. In the initial days, I have worked for IT organizations as a system integrator and solutions architect. That includes IBM for 10 years. And since 2010, I have been working in the capacity of CIO and IT head. I have drawn the IT strategy and digital roadmap of many manufacturing organizations in India and outside India also. And I have driven 4 SAP implementations programs in manufacturing domain. I'll be extremely happy to contribute in today's discussions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Manoj Shastri from Easy Trip Planners Private Limited.
Hi everyone, this is Manoj Shastri from Easy Trip. I have a 25-year experience in travel technology domain. I work with a couple of airlines in India, abroad, like say Fly Dubai, Paramount Airways, Sara Airlines, GMR Airport, IBM. So these are few organizations, but yes, AI, when we talk about AI, basically is very close to my heart. Nowadays, last 3 years, we are working with the AI and the ML domain, especially for travel technology domain for Use My Trip. Pleasure talking to all.
Mr. Manish Grover from Indian Oil.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. This is Manish Grover this side. I was working in IOC till 10 days ago. I just opened innovated as Executive Director, Strategic IS and Information Systems. I was responsible for taking forward the digital strategic agenda for the corporation for the last 3 years to 5 years in the domain of various emerging technologies, which includes AI, ML, all the digital new emerging techs like the digital twins, then the RPAs and all those things. And we work very extensively in the manufacturing sector in the form of refineries, automation, the process part, then the marketing side and pipeline side, and all the infrastructure, the supply chain. Everywhere we have introduced about 230 plus initiatives which are in the space of various technologies which are emerged today. And Indian Oil in that direction is one of the strongest which is performing this direction. And looking at the kind of data what we handle in this company, both tech data and the OT data, humongous amount of data in every source. So cybersecurity is always one of the largest feature in which we have been working on the various time immemorial to take care of our data first from the IT side and then now from the OT side, and then integrated way the way we have started functioning now with AI also coming into picture. So most of the tools are in place, which we will discuss when we talk about what we have done so far in our company and how we are using AML also to further enhance our security postures, how we are taking it further to take care of the changing environment, also to take care of the privacy apart from cyber security, the privacy part of the story which comes in with DPDP Act coming into the picture. So that equally becomes more important for me because we are one of the largest fiduciaries in this country, including the PIA data of almost half the population of this country with us. So, so far so good. And we'll talk more about this when we talk to the questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sourav, can I invite you to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Thanks, Ashish, and thanks CXO Media for inviting me and this stalwart panelists. Honored and privileged. A quick about myself. Almost 3 decades. Not there yet completely, but almost 3 decades in the industry across US, UK, Singapore, and India. So been IT throughout, dealt with lot of different things from mainframe to what we are going to discuss to AI ML. So been there and seen a lot of it. So happy to be a part of this panel.
Okay, so thank you so much, panelists. Really lucky to have such an experienced and a diverse panel today representing different industry sectors. We will love to hear your different perspectives on this very important topic. So without any further ado, let us start the discussion. My first question is to you, Kaushal. As a leading global sustainable and renewable energy company, which is at the forefront of innovation, what are the primary challenges you faced in integrating AI into your cloud infrastructure to optimize renewable energy distribution, predict energy demand, or improve grid management? How has your organization overcome these hurdles to achieve its sustainability goals? I'm sure sustainability is a very big point for all of you. So
yes. So I think all the companies are trying to be carbon neutral. So we are already in terms of negative. So we are giving carbon credits or selling carbon credit to others. So that way I can say proudly. Yeah. So very valid question, very important and critical or need of the ask for our sector as well. And I think Manish Bhai already highlighted a couple of pointers from a security perspective of OT part, because our key thing is if I have an installed capacity, how I can achieve more generation from the same installed capacity, right? And the first and foremost biggest challenge is connectivity, because our sites are very, very remote sites where connectivity is indeed a very big issue. Once we get the connectivity, after that, definitely we need to maintain IT and OT air cap also, right? And in a secure environment, because we don't have to just predict for higher generation, but we have to predict and submit that to the discoms also, right? So that they can plan their energy generation efficiently. And solar energy, because it's a natural thing, which is beyond our control, means it's not like in some factory or some refinery we can control it. It's purely depends on sun. So we are taking parameters from weather monitoring stations, We are taking data from Solar GIS or Indian Metallurgical Department, IMD, right? And we are trying like, okay, what will be my generation next 1 hour or next day, right? And not just that, we are also factoring the historical data, last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years data. So taking all of that data, data security. So all these challenges definitely, I think everyone is facing. And because of connectivity, definitely we can't push everything to clouds. We need local SCADA, local MES systems, local part and parcel kind of thing. So getting data real time is another challenge in any energy sector company where we have very remote location plants are there. Okay. And so if I talk about our company, so be it deploying the internet lease line or MPLS lines, firewalls, maintaining the dematerialized zones, DMZ, and then segregating that IT, OT security part, then taking all the data, comparing it in terms of, so losses maybe because of soiling. So if there is this dust on the module, right, your generation will go down. Module temperatures, we are checking if there is a hotspot. So there are multiple drone-based thermographic. So that feed also we are taking. That is not real time. That definitely we are doing on a need basis. But the biggest challenge what I see is remote infrastructure and ecosystem, because those areas, if there is an issue, so normally typically someone has to travel. All those remote areas, it's not feasible as of now. Like people are present, and then although we are now in 5G is already operational, but you will not even get 2G kind of connectivity in many of the plants. So that is a very tough thing which I think everyone is facing. So because of that, even communication and collaboration is also at time it hampers. So that also creates a hurdle. Although we have tried overcoming that to the best extent possible, and we are continuously improving that. Other challenges, if I talk about, is also regarding the skill set. So particularly be it at site level or central level also. So, but I think primarily at site level also, like how we are capturing, how we are taking some actions in terms of plant performance, plant uptime, inverter level or PLCs level, those kind of things.
No, I think thank you for that very detailed explanation and answer. And I think I can resonate, especially when connectivity is an issue, then your real-time analytics, right, that goes for a toss, right? You can't, there's no connectivity, you can't do any of that. Let me move on to the next panelist. Sourav, this question is for you. Allcargo has made significant strides in digital transformation, leveraging cloud-based solutions to enhance operational efficiency. So, Sourav, can you share some specific examples of how AI-driven automation has improved operational efficiency within Allcargo's cloud environment? For instance, how has AI optimized, say, cargo handling or logistics or container movements or any of those things that is so important to your organization?
Sure, Ashish. So, Ashish, we are on an exciting journey. It's learning every day, but we are leveraging AI across different areas, from pricing to procurement to sales and operations. So I will start with a small, standout, project that we've been doing, which is around the customer retention program, which actually demonstrates the power of collaboration across different teams, to deliver meaningful outcome. What I mean by that? So our sales network, receives a curated list of customers to contact each week. And these are curated by the specific trade lanes. This allows them to concentrate on their core strength and build relationships, while on the back end, the algorithms handle the data behind the scenes. Taking this a step further, we have, come up with a small generative AI platform, just like your ChatGPTs of the world, where you can use a prompt, and asking a questions. If you're looking for what they are booking, what kind of profitability we are making from those kind of customers. Have they, looked for a quote, didn't book yet? What they thought about their last service quality. So we are getting all those data and churning them around to make it meaningful conversation, and the customer knows that we are informed and we are giving them that loyalty towards it also as we go along. Besides that, Ashish, if you go deeper a little bit more, we are even doing lot more. So for example, some of our, key customers, we have contracts, but we also have spot rates. So which is better for that particular time? Is the spot rate better or is the contract rate better? So we are given, by AI, powered platform, we are given what is the right thing to do. We are even giving choice of the liners, what they should go. So there are a lot of things that we are adding value to it. But again, it's a journey. We are trying to make it better every day with every transactions. We don't want this to be a part of 5% of the organization. We wanted to make it democratized. And, rather than enforcing AI adoption, we want to empower the, team with the AI tools. So I will stop at that and I will look for any questions.
Sure. Thank you, Sourav. I think you've touched upon two important things. One is the customer and customer loyalty and customer experience. The other one is also you talked about pricing and how you can play around with it. I think both these, and of course you've talked a lot about other things, but great. Moving on, Manish, if I may ask you, as a major player in the energy sector, Indian Oil requires robust and secure infrastructure to manage sensitive data. So what strategies has the organization employed to ensure scalable and secure AI-powered cloud infrastructure, particularly in light of increasing cybersecurity threats? How does the data governance fit into your overall cloud infrastructure strategy?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think for a company like ours, which of size and the scale, the way we operate, and the kind of IT/OT environments in which we operate, I think this kind of thing and having an infrastructure which is capable of handling all these technologies is very much required. So in this regard, to ensure scalable and secure AI powered cloud infrastructure amidst cybersecurity threats, which you rightly mentioned, are popping up every day. Several critical measures in the IOC has been taken, either which have been already implemented or are in the process of getting implemented in the organization. So it's a journey. Let me put it this way: you start small, scale it up, and as the environment changes, as we all know, cybersecurity environment is changing every day, and new emerging threats, new solutions are also emerging. So all these things are a work in progress always. But as we said, some already in place, some already implemented. So I'll highlight some of them without going into depth of what is being done around that. The most notable ones, which we would like to normally, say, and I have told our ministry as well, include on the top of it is the zero trust architecture, which we have deployed, which is implemented in various stages, basically, which it means you trust no one and check everyone. So we deny everyone. In this regard, so there is a strict identification system. There's a micro segmentation for minimizing the, bias last radius of the data itself. There's a continuous monitoring which is in place of the systems. Then there is an automatic threat intel of all entry and exit points is available to us. So when it goes, second part is how do we handle the data? As I was mentioning in my opening remarks, the humongous kind of data requires a different strategy altogether. So data encryption and the key management, these are the one big area when everybody operates, I think, wherever we are. So the encryption of the data is during rest as well as in motion. There is a strict data loss prevention policy in place and controls are in place. There's a key management system, especially the cloud native ones are part of the internal security policy and contracts with cloud services providers. Then third is the robust, identity and access management system. This remains my focus always. Here, the multi-factor authentication to ensure that any unauthorized users easily cannot access any cloud resources with stolen credentials. This is very well common nowadays. Then the role-based access control. And now, there are so many diverse roles in the organization. Everybody doesn't need to look at everybody else's data. And with democratization in AIML and the platform approach which we have taken while I was looking into the strategic role which our group had played. So role-based access control data is the key thing where we are able to only let people who are, users and creators of data are able to see that data. Third, and the next one is the backup and the disaster recovery plans, which have already been made in place, which are cloud-native backups, which we have created. AirGap, which Kushal was mentioning for my OT set of data. We have created a vault for the critical data. Apart from all the things, we have created a vault for for resilience part of the story. In case we are ever threatened or data goes back, even in DR or at the backup sites, we will be resorting to this side of story as well. Then the incident response, which is the managed security services which we are deploying. Last part is how do we see that what we are doing is right? So there's regular checks and third-party audits as mandated by certain and the regulatory authorities for us. They are part and parcel of our things. Anything which goes public as an app has to have a, VAPT to be done before it is deployed. And finally, the cyber manpower, which the continuous amount of skill upgradation of the people who are inside, and to educate the people and the manpower personally. All the, workers who are and the officers of the company, they are regularly being given the taste of what is coming through the system, the phishing attacks, and all those things. They are a regular part of the story. Even the vigilance teams are having a theme this year of looking after the cyberspace. Considering that the data what we are handling is so super sensitive that it can actually block the entire country if one of my refineries ever got hacked by it. So as per CII, my refinery data doesn't go to cloud. It stays on-prem. So I follow a hybrid kind of policy. The data which can go on cloud will go on cloud, which has to stay on-prem will stay on-prem. And around all these things, we have created this entire infrastructure on which we are currently operating through SLAs. And this is how we are currently managing the show. And as I said, some of them are already implemented and many of them are in work in process. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish. That was a very nice response. And I think you've covered all aspects of security. And particularly, I like the fact that, you're emphasizing also on training. You're doing whatever you can, but training and awareness is a very important aspect.
That's the internal threats are to be dealt that way. Otherwise, the external I can meet. But what I do with the internal threats, I have to be very careful about those threats as well.
Completely agree. Thank you. So moving on to you, Manoj. Easy Travel has revolutionized the online travel industry with its user-friendly platform. Manoj, if you can share some success stories or case studies where AI-driven predictive analytics in the cloud has driven business growth or improved decision-making for Easy Travel. For example, how has AI optimized travel recommendations or demand forecasting or any other, things that you use to help your end customers and your own organization to be more efficient?
So it's very relevant question when we talk about AI, ML. Definitely, AI without AI, ML, we cannot survive. Let me tell you, travel technology domain is a very dynamically changing. Every time we have to keep the updated ourselves. So first of all, we are slightly different from other industry because everything on cloud, nothing on prem. With not even 99%, we have 100% on the cloud, based system, and we are more concerned about the real time. When we say real time, let's say you take example for flight, hotel, car rental services, everything travel related product we connected online. And when we say online, you know that the price, especially for flight price, changing dynamically, even though we can't predict in a 5 second or 5-10 minutes going to be changed. So we have to have real-time connectivity, all those airlines, real-time, number one. Number two, when we talk about real-time scenario, more concerned about the security part. So security, like say, being a limited company, we are already taking care of all the security parameter, all the certification from starting from PCI DSS certification till GDPR, because we are global company now. Anybody can book from anywhere. GDPR, now we are working for DPDP. Coming back to the question, what you asking about prediction of people who basically taking care of all the data, as in data in the cloud. So we try to track all the people coming to website and who basically try to book which flight or which hotel or which destination. So those data is not completely converted in the real time. So our AI ML going to be identify people are mostly which destination they want to travel. Based on that, we have a created dashboard where we can see, hey, this is the area people liking, disliking is based on certain fact. They want to, let's take example for people are every day searching the flight. They're not buying, but we can see the thousand people, they are searching the flight for London. So we have ecosystem where we can see the dashboard. Hey, today, this number of people, they are searching the flight, the London flight or, any destination. So eventually AI ML taking place for creating a dynamic packaging for those people and keep sending to them. So that's the one area AI can, I tell you, the giving the very dynamic environment and real time, which is giving the help for us how to do that. Secondly, today, travel domain is a very fantastic and people are very demanding. And when we say demanding, like say they want to see, they want to travel some A to B, and during that period, basically they want to see what else we can provide them. For example, you are searching some flight for Delhi to, let's suppose, Miami, and as a layman, you doesn't know about you required what kind of visa required, transit visa required. You have one is home flight from London, for example. So they will allow to stay on a London or one day, even though at the airport, you require sending transit visa. Those information not available in public domain. So in AI, in model, basically we can track those things. Hey, you make sure you're traveling those sector, you should have your visa handy. Number one. Number two, after pandemic, there are a lot of airport globally, they have notification you cannot land those particular airport, you required vaccination certificate or medical certificate, and this is dynamically changing every time. So those notification also AI, Gen AI, we can provide in advance to the customer. So customer we feel happy. Yes, is my trip or online travel technology, they are taking care of my complete journey. That's one part of that. That's where AI help us to how to convince your people, how to capture those information, and how you can provide those information to handle to the customer. Second, aspect is like say, when you have a huge data in your database or in your, funnel, I would say. So there are opportunity to create a 360-degree of customer experience. What liking, disliking, so that whenever customer next time coming to your portal and you understand in advance, hey, this guy is basically always travel business class. So you be prepared in advance and we provide all those ready-made package for customer because the customer already is your customer. So is a repeated customer also, you can increase it. So that's is a customer's journey. We talk about 360 your customer. That's also AI giving you information very handy, and we help you in terms of creating a customer persona in your database. And we keep every time we have to keep our scenario is ready. What information and how information going to be conveyed, which media are going to be conveyed to the customer, especially for social media. We are connected with omni-channel where any person can be, traveler can be coming to any channel and we have to satisfy those things. To start with the AI, I will basically, I tell you the last 2 years, rather early 2021, we started chatbot to start with. And today I would say chatbot is a very, very, active part, and almost 7 to 8% call handled by chatbot now. Now chatbot going to be further enhanced chatbot, and taking over multiple. We are working on multiple language where we can introduce for chatbot for across the India, not only India, across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you. That's one area, Manojji, which touches each one of us in our lives, travel. So if I try to book a flight ticket, I immediately get a prompt for, will you not be requiring a hotel booking? So I think a lot of AI is at play, even for end consumers. I know you have a B2B to C model, but AI is prevalent, and it's very well utilized.
Not only B2B, B2C model, we have being a technology company. I would like to, one more thing, like to share, whatever you can see, the mobile application.com site, any site that is totally developed by in-house, except we are using public domain, public cloud. The rest of the thing we have done in-house. And that is the beauty of that, because anything you want to change dynamically, you can change minutes of, in your hand, basically. And as you rightly said, anybody can, real time, they can buy a flight with us by using mobile phone. And now I take the one more minute, because when we talk about check-in system, today everybody using the Digiyatra. And that's probably too early to say, but yes, we are going to work on the Digiyatra very closely. And you can see the boarding also you can do with the Ismartip mobile.
All right. Thank you, Manojji. Let me move on to you, Mr. Sonam. As a leading turnkey pre-engineered steel construction solution provider in India, with integrated facilities for design, engineering, and manufacturing, Interarch must be relying on cutting-edge technology to drive innovation. So, how do you envision AI in cloud infrastructure transforming the architecture and design industry in the next, let's say, 2 to 3 years? What implications will this have for business agility and innovation, particularly in areas like sustainable design or smart buildings?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. There are multiple questions. I'm trying to touch upon each one of them. Okay. Again, like in our kind of organizations, the greatest challenges are like the complexity of the business. It is not a make to stock kind of scenario. It is engineering to stock scenario. Then the need is, and the internal processes are iterative. And not all the processes or steps are captured in IT platform. Some of the steps are transactions are in IT platform. Some of processes are being maintained manually. And there are decentralized applications. There are ERP, there are design software, there are CRM, there are SRM. And these applications, like we have adopted over years. So like their technology status may not be in the same level. So when we are talking about integrations of one platform with the other, because there is a generational gap between these two applications platform, these are the challenges of integrations. And the probability on data and information leakage, we have to be very vigilant on that. And as I told, the business need is dynamic, and different versions of design softwares are there. So these are different kind of variety and hybrid nature of the resources available. So, and there is a continuous customer need for changes. So in our kind of scenario, rather than in any kind of industry today, like whatever the transformations we are going through, I personally believe that the empowered customer are triggering those kind of changes. So whatever, whether it is AI, whether we are adopting AI, ML, or whether you are changing adopting any digital transformations, customer is at the center. So in our case, also customer is at the center. There is a need of smarter building. There is a need of sustainable building. So all these are the challenges and the needs. So keeping in view of all these things, I think not only in my organizations, rather our kind of organizations, they are embarking in the journey of adoptions of AI and ML. But my personal view is, like I am a fan of the game of cricket. So at what stage the adoptions is there in India or probably in the globe itself. So if we look at the 5-day test match, so when we look at the AI ML journey, we are in the first day before lunch session only. That is my view, personal view. Okay. So there are a lot of, like the road is long and we have to walk further. So having said that, what of the probable area where AI and ML, we have to adopt AI and ML and which can add value to our internal process efficiency and to address the customer need. So here the enhanced design automations is one major area where AI and ML can help in our kind of organizations. Like AI algorithms in the cloud can analyze massive data sets, automate repetitive tasks, and generate optimized design solutions that consider structural integrity, environmental factors, sustainability targets. Actually, this will empower our engineers to focus more on creativity and innovations while maintaining precision in complexity of design, accuracy, and precision. So this is one area. Another area there is a potential application is business agility and innovations. Actually, cloud-based AI tools offer scalable solutions that are accessible across teams and geographies. And AI will enable real-time simulations and adjustment, allowing the quicker decisions making and problem solving. So this will be this is very pertinent to our kind of organizations. Then the sustainability, like AI is playing a pivotal role in sustainable design by evaluating the environmental impact on the materials. That is very relevant to our kind of organizations, and the energy usage and the resource management. Okay, we can predict and minimize waste, improve energy efficiency, and even enhance long-term building performance. Like there are in our kind of organizations, like lot of design is being done by different engineering team, and it goes to the shop floor. So in the shop floor, when they want to cut a different structure from a sheet of metal, so there is lot of optimizations are required. So we have adopted the latest intelligent softwares which can ensure that there is a list of waste and maximum utilizations of a particular sheet of metal. And that error reductions is also in our production system. With the help of AI, we have already implemented, like we have reduced error reductions. And this is enabling us in data-driven decisions making also. AI in the cloud continuously gathers and analyzes data from every phase of the project. Like in our kind of organizations, the customer is also asking right from the sales order to the engineering, to the planning, to the manufacturing, from the manufacturing dispatch, after dispatch erections in the project sites. So customer wants the progress at each stage, which is giving the visualizations of each stage from the existing applications is very difficult. So we are already adopting AI-based applications to give them the desired visibility. And this also helping us faster adaptations to change. The construction industry often faces changing client demands, regularizations, and material availability. AI is helping us to adapt to these changes quickly. And also there is a need, like in our kind of organizations, there is a need of sustainability in design, like sustainable material selections, like life cycle assessment, then material properties. So in this kind of thing, AI-based tools, like whatever engineering software we are using now, like in of late, they are introducing AI capabilities in the software itself, and it gets the power of like material properties analysis that will help us in to strengthen our design. And it is helping us to energy efficient design, like to calculate the strength and load on the building, and also in waste minimizations. So these are different areas. Probably we cannot conclude this thing, but I want to conclude it with an observations. Like there are a lot of technologies around AI are there, ML are there, and whatever OEM software or the applications OEM are releasing nowadays, they are injecting this AI and ML capability in the applications itself. But the question to myself is, probably me or my clients, they are not aware about the power of the AI and ML that is already inbuilt in the applications that is available with us. So only technology may not help us. There is a need of proper adoptions of and awareness. There is a need of changing culture. There is a need in mindset or calibrate our mindset to adopt those technologies. And there is a need of changing in culture. So I think these are the factors we cannot ignore. The technology was there, technology is here, and technology will keep on coming. But we have to be our mind should be more flexible, and our mind should calibrate ourselves to adapt and embrace technology. Unless and until we are able to do that, probably that technology will surpass us. So that is point. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Malik. I think you said quite a few interesting things from your perspective, especially the last bit, which is about continuous learning, but more about precision, accuracy. And I also like the term that you used, sustainability in design. I mean, we are talking about sustainable, making the world more sustainable, but by design itself or within the design itself, you are doing it. So I think a lot of good use cases in your organization for AI and machine learning. So thank you, all of you, for such an engaging and thought-provoking discussion so far. We've seen what AI cloud integration offers. The transformative potential in whether it's streamlining processes, whether it's optimization, whether it's improved decision making, whether it's enabling rapid responses to changing market demands. Let me ask the panelists some quick follow-on questions, but in the interest of time, we'll try to keep this section a little brief. I'll start with you, Mr. Kushal. Can you elaborate on the skills or talent? I think one of you mentioned that the human angle is very important. So can you elaborate on the skills or talent required to effectively implement and manage AI, and specifically in the cloud infrastructure? Being, India's solar power developer, and I know you're not an typical IT company, is it difficult for you to hire and retain such people?
Yeah, very valid question, particularly for a non-IT company. And I think what I will explain right now, I think even IT people will also echo with that. IT companies will also echo with that. So one is, you have talked about two very big buzzwords, cloud and AI, right? So both are very pleasant to hear, and it looks like, okay, it's something very magical thing, but it's very, very complex. Like when we talk about a skill set requirement, so definitely we need a cloud architecture expertise. So we have people, different hyperscaler certified, be it Google, be it AWS or Azure, because within their ecosystem, they have developed lots of products, specialized products from respective hyperscalers. And there are lots of Indian players also coming up in that part. They are also coming up with their cloud kind of platforms and specialized tools, NLP, even AI analytics, their big data lake kind of thing. So everyone has given some different flavor, different name, some different value-added advantage they have added, right? So that is the reason people are going with multi-cloud also, because if they want to leverage end-to-end, so something which is good in AWS or something maybe good in Azure or GCP, So you will use a multi-cloud environment. So cloud architecture is very, very important and very crucial. And from a cost effectiveness perspective, because when the moment it comes cloud, it is your egress and ingress which comes in picture, right? So that is very critical. We have to consider about the containerization and orchestration also, because one of the key reasons for going in cloud is upscale and downscale, right? So if it is not container based, if our application or our architecture is not containerized, right, then we may not be able to leverage the true cloud potential, because there are spikes at times, right? So cloud is one very critical skill set which is required. Then we can talk about is a AI ML, right? So we need machine learning frameworks, we need data engineering skills, right? Including like how we are going to train our models, how we are going to build the pipelines, what kind of storage we are going to use, how, right? So it may be Apache, Hadoop, lots of varieties is available. Then it will come about your DevOps, or now we can say it as DevSecOps. So secure by design. So it is development, security, and operations management part. So that is very critical, and we have to use automation tools with continuous improvement. So it is CI/CD, continuous improvement, continuous development part. So because AI is not a like end goal, it's a journey. You just started and you are heading, you are improving regularly. So so those things are very important. Cybersecurity, so SecOps I mentioned, but in addition to SecOps from a coding perspective, but overall as a Manish talked about, Manoj Bhai talked about, everyone talked about in terms of zero trust, right? Your whoever is entering your in terms of app security, your database security, your privacy laws, be it GDPR or Indian version of our data privacy DPDP Act, right? So how we are securing cloud infrastructure, not just cloud infrastructure, how we are getting the information. Like if I talk about in our industry, so we are using OPC UA, OPC DA to fetch the data. Right now, how in a secured manner we are fetching the data and we are not compromising with the site, right? Of course, programming, scripting, data science acumen, and one most important skill is your domain expertise, right? Because you have a tool, how to use it, where to apply it, how you are addressing it has to align with the business goals. There has to be a value addition, right? There has to be like you. So domain expertise is very important, and definitely attitude, soft skills, collaboration skills, because ultimately it's a teamwork. It's not like individuals are going to deliver it, right? So these are some of the skill sets which are required. And if I talk about from a any company perspective, right? During pandemic, we have seen what kind of spike, what kind of salary hikes people have seen, particularly in security, cloud, and AI space, right? So retaining that talent is definitely very. So one is recruitment. So you need to have right set of culture. You need to give them good pay packages, benefits, work-life balance, lots of things. Nowadays, many people I have seen, they will say, "Boss, if not hybrid, I will not come." So the workforce is getting more demanding. Like it's no more like industrial revolution 1, 2, or 3, 4 kind of thing. They are like their needs are different. They want a sense of achievement. They want a sense of accomplishment, right? It's not just okay. No, I'm doing this just for bread and butter, right? So there are the different set of people are there, and if you see the kind of work which they are doing is fantastic. Okay, so for us or any company, it's definitely challenging, and we are taking a hybrid approach. Wherever possible, if we have in-house expertise, we are taking in-house expertise. At time, if we need to outsource it, if some solutions we want to purchase out of the box solutions which are readily available, we deploy it, and we to some extent outsource them to them only to develop this. We are not lucky. Everyone is not lucky as Manoj Bhai, who is having 100% in-house team except cloud hosting part. But yeah, we are it's a race, and everyone try to keep the attrition level lowest. And but yeah, it's a struggle. I think everyone will echo with that. Always we are struggling with the good resources, skilled resources in all sectors everywhere.
All right. Thank you, Kaushal. I think that's a very well answered question on the skill and talent. Moving on, Mr. Malik, if I may ask you, In the industry such as yours, which has construction, design, manufacturing, how do you address concerns around data privacy and security? I mean, we have talked a little bit about zero trust. We've talked, but in manufacturing and design, especially, I'm always wondering that how do you protect your designs from being copied? So stuff like that, how do you manage it?
Yeah, that is again a very relevant and pertinent questions, and some of things have been touched by Kushal. Okay, so in our kind of scenario, again, there are multiple applications. Some of the applications are on-prem, some of them are on cloud. So when our main strategy is whenever we are migrating our applications onto cloud, we are trying to select the major hyperscaler like Azure, AWS, and Google, GCP, so that they have got that inbuilt security certifications. So we ourselves are protected from any kind of data leakage or data privacy related issues. And so far on-premise applications are concerned, we are managing it access controls like role-based access, and we are incorporating multi-factor authentications also to the best possible way. And so far our designs are concerned, again, our design applications, some of them are on cloud and some of them are on-prem. And wherever we are having on-prem, we are keeping them in a different closed network, and we have details then from the internet access. So there is a closed network where design people work. But we know that that is a primitive way of addressing the security part of it. But so long we have not drawn our full-fledged IT strategy, we are trying to manage the security concerns by this. Okay. And we are adapting, assessing private cloud and hybrid solutions. And we are looking into data governance framework, where a robust governance framework is established to define policies around data access, usage, and storage. Continuous audits and monitoring help in identifying and addressing any security anomalies. So that is required, as per ISO 27000. So this governance structure is one of the key things. And AI model governance will also be helpful in this area. Like regular checks and validations are conducted on AI models to ensure they are being trained and operated in a secure manner without the risk of exposing sensitive data. But if you ask me, these are the approach we are continuously learning how to prevent that. We are attending many sessions. We are interacting with many security partners to understand the potential threats and risks. And we have identified few solutions. But if you ask me whether we are 100% protected, the answer is definitely not yes, but we are on the path. And I think that the way we are progressing, very soon we will be able to address all the security related concern.
Understood. No, thank you, Mr. Malik. We are going to keep the next few questions very quick and brief. Manojji, quickly coming back to you, what role does edge computing play in enabling real-time AI-driven decision-making in online travel business such as yours?
Yeah, edge computing, when we talk about, definitely is a real-time environment, is very, very important. When we talk about, since we now explain everything on cloud, so it's very important what data we store in cloud and how people they're going to access, whether internal stakeholder or internal external stakeholder. So edge computing is playing a crucial role here, because every time we have to monitor what our internal people they're going to access. As I said, security aspects. So each and every accessibility of the cloud, people are we are making sure people can access via proper authentication. And we have MFA, for example, and we also ensure everybody cannot access directly through particular server. Take examples like, say, only technology people they can allow to access directly to server, but rest of the people they can't access directly. So these are certain area only stakeholder they can access because of some dashboard. We have created dynamic dashboard, so those people they can access. Most important thing is when we talk about edge computing. So very important role is like say how many time people are accessing, and each and every activity we maintain the log. I mean, why we talk about those important? Because as I said, being a limited company, every quarter we have to go in the audit. During the audit, and as per certain guideline, we have to maintain all the log. Any event happening, any unbehavioral information or any abnormal, condition, we have to capture those information and provide to the concerned authority. So those things is we it will take some time to gather all the information. But yes, we have a centralized log system where we can single window we can monitor where things are moving correctly and where we need to change and how amount of change we have to do that. That's area we have. My team is working 24/7, and and that's anything we found in between some unbehavior, definitely we can record it and report to the concerned department. I mean, see, because travel technology is a very dynamic role, I would say. So this is very important to every time, whether we are, cloud computing environment, we have to take care of all those customer data. And since customer is global now, so as per as PI information, there's a more responsibility to take care of the PI information because data in the cloud, so is a prime concern to secure it.
Project. And Saurav, very quickly again, in the logistics and supply chain business, how do you measure ROI for AI investments, and what metrics do you use to measure success or evaluate success?
So Ashish, I mean, the ROI of AI or generative AIs in logistics, depends on specific cases, whether you're using for focused on efficiency of improvements or for revenue growth. Okay, so I will give you an example. Like, for example, if you are, we use something called the house bill of lading for handing over the cargo to the shipping line. And in that process, it is very essential to get accurate information. Now, if we compare the cost of generating an HBL using a generative AI versus a manual process, okay, there is a huge cost difference. So that gives us a lot of, ability to move forward with accurate and, good stuff without generating a lot of revenue, but cutting a lot of cost. At the same time, we can, use it for customer retention, supporting the sales team through sales assistants. Somebody talked about chatbots and more. We can, assess through matrices like incremental sales of volume growth per salesperson and all those stuff. So there are various measures, various KPIs that we use. So, AI is about using lot of data sets, collectively putting it together. And, as somebody said, that if you torture the data enough, it will confess. So we want it to confess in the right way.
Well said. Yeah. Now, I think whatever we do, at the end of the day, technology is on one side, but the business owners and the people with P&L responsibility will always look at the top line and the bottom line. So as long as we are able to, put the technology to help these two things, we'll get the sponsorship and the buy-in, then the budgets, etc. If not, then we'll have to call it an experiment and say, okay, this was a pilot and it failed, and let's move forward. Let's learn from this and move on. Okay, very quickly, Manishji, last question to you. In the as a global oil and gas and energy player, what advice would you like to give to organizations who are just starting their AI journey using cloud infrastructure? And should there be any pitfalls that they need to worry about? Will you give them some advice as to what should be they careful about?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. From my experience, let me have just highlighted 4-5 things which I think, which we have learned, which can be said and advice to them, but I'll put it in a very brief manner in the time constraints which are given to us. So first thing which I always say is start small and scale gradually. Never start with a big bang theory. We should have a well-defined use case and a pilot project to test the capabilities. So this is the one part which we have seen for AI and technologies. Whatever we have done in a company, we have done in this fashion. This helps us in getting very valuable experience, identify potential challenges. And also before making significant investments, we are able to also define all the contours of my RFP, which goes in a big, large fashion. Second is to prioritize your data quality and governance. Unless your data quality is right, you may not end up with the right results when you go to AI and use a cloud infrastructure. Third part, which we will like to say, is the invest in cybersecurity, which is the theme of the today's discussion as well. This should be the top priority from the outset itself. It cannot be part of the story later. And we should have a robust security measures to protect sensitive data and prevent unauthorized access. Third is to choose the right cloud provider and services. This is very important because we should evaluate the capabilities and the offerings of each cloud providers and select the best fit for our organization. As Kaushal was also mentioning about multi-cloud, hybrid cloud, how do we go about doing it? Consider the factors such as, scalability, reliability, security, and pricing. Third is the develop a skilled workforce, which, it's a bottom line for everyone. Having a skilled workforce will be very important. We should invest in trainings and upskilling our employees to acquire the necessary AI and cloud expertise, without which, you will end up paying more and more upwards. And next is avoid over-reliance on the vendor solutions. At some point of time, we should start making it an in-house effort at the end of the day. Once a vendor solution has been implemented, we need to make our own workforce, take it over at some point of time with the AC metrics, so that at some point of time, you are able to control everything which goes around it. And last but not the least is be prepared for the challenges. In any implementation, it can be complex, it can be time consuming. We should be prepared to encounter these challenges and setbacks along the way, which will come any which ways, with kind of scopes which we have in our organizations. The creep comes in and the expectations rise, and so we should be flexible, and adaptive approach is always very successful. This is what I've been seeing. So these are some of the guidelines which I believe will have been very helpful to us in an organization like ours, and will be useful to any organization which embarks on this journey today. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish. I think you summed it up quite well. And we used to use that phrase, prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's the thing that we've been, and the other good point that you pointed out is security is by design and from the very start, not as an afterthought. All right. I think great points. I would like to quickly, reflecting on today's topic, which is harnessing the power of AI in cloud infrastructure for business agility. I want to share some of the key words that I've heard today. I was just jotting down, so allow me to read it from my notes. They are just random, but kind of what I liked and captured. So I heard about 360 customer view, zero trust, and lot about security, privacy, data privacy, reliability, MFA, speed, accessibility, predictive analytics. Then there was a talk about quantum of data. How do you handle? I think Manish, you mentioned the large quantum, humongous data size, data sets, operational excellence, customer loyalty, dynamic pricing, accuracy, precision. And I think all of these points have a strong bearing on the use of cloud and the use of AI. Last but not the least, the sustainability. Even AI is playing a big game in helping us make the world more sustainable and more eco-friendly. That said, I have one more point which I want to bring to the table. Although we touched upon it briefly, something that really resonates with me is the emphasis on the human centricity in AI adoption. So AI is not about replacing humans, but augmenting our capability and our capacity and our, the sheer scale and size of what humans can't do, augment that with the help of AI. As we conclude, I'm reminded of a quote from Albert Einstein. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my own education, implying true learning often happens outside formal education. And it's in forums such as this that we get to hear from the experienced panel, the panelists, and learn. So today we've learned that AI and cloud infrastructure is not just about technology, but also about empowering businesses to innovate and thrive. So thank you very much, panelists, for sharing your invaluable insights and expertise with us today. I would also like to convey my sincere thanks to our organizers, Tech Plus Media and CXOTV, for hosting the event. Stay curious, to keep learning, and join us for the next Tech Thursday series events. Goodbye and have a fantastic day. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
For more updates from CXOTV, please like and subscribe to our channel.